good evening and welcome to the meeting, to the November 24th meeting of the City Property Committee of the Fitchburg City Council. FATV is obviously providing audiovisual recording. And we have one item on the agenda and one tabled item. We have 3 individuals registered for public comment. I assume all for 22720, the Scenic Roads petition. So if there is no objection, we will begin immediately with public comment. And we can start with, let's start with Mr. Kettle. If you're speaking at the moment, you're muted on your end.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay, good evening, Chair Zarella and committee members. Thank you. I'd like to talk on 227-20, designation of Williams, McIntyre, Sheldon, and Stickney as scenic roads. I first of all would like to thank City Council President Kushmerek for working with us on the designation of these roads as scenic roads, and also for Councillor Couture and Chief Planning Officer Mike O'Hara for endorsing this. The identification of these roads as scenic roads will help keep the neighbourhood as it has been for over 100 years, with some residents actually living on the neighbourhood for 50 years. And also going forwards for the new people that we look forward to welcoming to the neighbourhood in the future. We formed a Williams McIntyre Neighbourhood Association to help try and protect and keep this beautiful area of Fitchburg as it has been, as we care deeply for the trees and the surroundings. And we sincerely thank Chair Zarella and the committee for hopefully approving the designation of these roads, Williams, McIntyre, Sheldon, Stickney, as scenic roads. And finally, I would like to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We can bring in Ms. Aries next.
Good evening. My name is Doreen Aries, and I've lived at 365 Williams Road with my husband Paul for 33 years now, a little bit over 33 years. And although Williams Road already does have the protection of the Scenic Roads Act, I totally support my neighbors on the other roads receiving that same protection. It'll keep this area looking rural and save some of the trees. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ms. Kupiec, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Kupiec, yes, hi, thank you. My husband and I have lived at 70 McIntyre Road with our daughter for the past 4 years. We moved here for the neighbors, my aunt and uncle, Peter and Ellen, and for the rural land in Fitchburg. It's such a unique part of Fitchburg. It's really a nice area to live in. We look forward to having potential neighbors, but hopes the city can mark these streets as scenic. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All right, that is the total of everyone registered. So the first and only item on the agenda then is 22720, Councilors Kushmerek and Couture to designate Alpine Road, McIntyre Road, Sheldon Road, and Stickney Road as scenic roads as stipulated by the Scenic Road Act, MGL Chapter 40, Section 15C. And I have a motion from Councillor Fleming, so I'll treat that as a second, Councillor Boschman.
Yeah.
And I have comment from Councillor Squalia.
Yes, I approve this this Scenic Road Act designation on these roads, certainly. But according to the Mass General Law for the Scenic Road designations, it is upon the recommendation or request of the Planning Board, Conservation Commission, or Historical Commission of the city or town. So has this gone? Do we know if this has gone through the Planning Board, Conservation Commission, or the Historical Commission, or are we the first stop? And if we are the first stop, then I would suggest that we approve it, but we send it to either the planning board, the conservation commission, or the historical commission, or maybe even all three.
Took the words right out of my mouth, honestly. Yeah, I believe we are the first to see this, given the nature of the petition that went in. I don't recall if the petition, when it was before the council, sent it to any of the other bodies, but I don't believe so. I also, so I would make a motion then, if there is no objection to me doing so, to amend the motion on the motion that is before us to hold this matter pending approval by one of the above boards and send it to those boards for consideration. Because I agree with Councilor Squalia. I don't believe that we actually have authority as a council to move this forward until and unless we have received a recommendation from one of those boards.
Okay, well, I would say that the amendment should be the planning board and the conservation commission. I don't know if it should be the historical commission, unless you disagree.
I would
say
agree. So can I treat that as a second on the motion to amend?
Looking for me.
Yeah.
On the
Thank you.
motion, on the motion,
On the motion to amend or on the underlying motion, Councillor?
on the underlying motion that you just
Okay,
said.
can we wait a moment until we've dispensed with the motion to amend?
Uh.
I'll do it by unanimous consent if there's no objection to the amendment. Hearing none, it is so amended. Councillor Boschman on the underlying motion?
I get the impression that when they send it to the city properties, we approve it, then it goes back to the council as a whole, and we vote on it, yes or a nay. And then after that, it goes to the planning board, and they have to follow our rules, because that's going to be part of it. Are you saying that send this to the planning board first to let them decide? Why would you, when you want the council to decide first, and then they follow? It'll be just like getting a license. We say yes, and then they put the regulations down.
Right, because in this case, because of the statute itself, it's not like a license or anything like that. The statute itself does stipulate that the council can only act upon recommendation or request of the planning board, conservation commission, or historical commission. It's kind of like when we do zoning amendments, Councillor. We have to get it from the planning board first and then send it to the council. It's a state law thing. I don't think it makes a huge amount of sense to mandate that it go in that order, but it does have to go in that order. So we've just got to go with it.
All right, maybe you can answer this, and maybe you can't. I wish that Tom was here, Tom S., but he's not here. And I just thought about it. I'm all in favor of this. I'm not trying to stop it. But my question is going to be to anybody. They can answer it. If they got 20 houses going up there on McIntyre Road or Alpine Road or whatever road we're doing here, Unitil, the way I understand it, because Unitil came in and they knocked down a lot of trees because they said they had that right to, because they were protecting their wires. How is that going to work with Unitil? Like, they didn't want to put the wires on the ground underneath on McIntyre Road like I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked, rather. I didn't get nowhere. But how is that going to work on that aspect of it?
Honestly, that is a question that I would like to ask as well. And that's another reason that I think it would be a good idea to hold this to a future meeting, because as written, just looking at the statute in the black letter law, it doesn't appear to have any exemption for power line maintenance. And that would be a concern, given that we are Fitchburg, we get ice storms. So yeah, I mean, I share your concern on that. I think this is a very good move in general, and I am in favor of it, but I think that there's just a few steps we've got to cover before we can actually get it done. Councilor Squalia?
just to note, according to the statute, it would be any repair or maintenance to the roadway within the right, any trees within the right of way that would need maintenance would be at the discretion of the planning board. So Unitil would be able to cut trees if the planning board allowed it.
Right.
So, you know, this might be another way to get you to underground lines, Councilor Boschman.
There's a thought.
So I would move to approve as amended to hold this and pending approval of the planning board or commission, conservation commission.
All right, so we have a, I think we had that already moved prior to the amendment. So with the motion, just to restate, the motion as amended is to hold pending approval by the planning board or historical commission and to send this matter to both of those commissions for consideration.
Planning board or conservation commission.
Sorry, that's what I meant. Yes, thank you. Planning board or conservation commission.
Yep.
Can we do this by unanimous consent?
Yes.
All right, it is approved by unanimous consent. And, hang on just one moment. Gotcha. I have actually just received a communication from Councillor Van Hezinga, who tells me that when tree cutting is required for maintenance on a scenic road, it actually requires a joint meeting of the planning board and the tree warden to approve it. So thank you, Councillor, for that additional information. The motion as amended has been approved. I'm sorry, Councillor Squalia? What?
Move to adjourn.
Any objection?
Second.
All right.
Happy
We are
Thanksgiving.
adjourned and have an excellent Thanksgiving, all of you.
You too.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Have a good one.